Hey, what's up guys, it's Kai here. Today we're going to be solving a huge problem that all of us who love to shoot travel video have. Whenever we're traveling, it's not always easy to find interesting thing to shoot. And so today we're going to be learning one simple trick to make your video much more interesting and dynamic to watch. First of all, let's take a look at what we're going to be learning today. Check it out. Okay, so the video you just saw is from a video called Watchtower of Turkey by Leonardo D'Alessandri. And the technique being used inside is called a hyperlapse. And that's what we're going to learn today. So what exactly is a hyperlapse? You might have heard of a time-lapse. And the only difference between a hyperlapse and a time-lapse is that a time-lapse is static. And a hyperlapse, there's camera movement. And that one difference is what makes hyperlapse much more interesting and dynamic to watch. Okay, now let's learn how to do it. Before you do it, you have to know that it's better to shoot it at a very crowded place, because the only interesting about the hyperlapse is that you see the people moving around and maybe the clouds and stuff. But if you're shooting at the very empty place like right now, then it will almost look like it's a video shot with a gimbal. So it's better to find a very crowded place. Now, it only actually takes you 3 steps to do the hyperlapse. The step number 1 is to plan your beginning and your end. The thing I'm gonna shoot is this basket, all right? And what you're gonna do is you have to plan your beginning and your end, like any stop motion, if you have done stop motion before. And so I'm gonna do an arc around this basket. For those who are doing it for the first time, it's better to find a focus point. So basically, you need to find an object, a subject, that you can keep it at the center of the image. So you're not gonna wobble, and you know, when you don't have a subject, it's very hard to shoot because you're just gonna go everywhere, right? So I'm gonna keep that basket at the center of my image, and I'm gonna keep it in the middle. Now, before you shoot, make sure you set everything as manual, because if you don't set it manual, the white balance or the shutter speed or anything, your video is gonna flicker. It's gonna go everywhere and it's gonna look very bad. So make sure you set everything as manual. Now, step number 2 is to shoot your photo one by one. So you're gonna decide whether your hyperlapse is gonna be fast or it's gonna be slow. So let's say the length of my hyperlapse after I export it is gonna be 5 seconds. And if my project is 24 frames per second, then 24 times 5 is 120 frames. So the total amount of photos that you need to take for this hyperlapse is 120 photos. Once you plan the beginning and the end, so if I do an arc like this, I need to make sure that I take 120 photos while doing this whole arc. But if you're not really caring about the length of the hyperlapse, then you just do it the way you like it, as long as every photo has the same distance between each other. So let's say after I take the first photo, I'm gonna move 1 step to the left. Then the next one gotta be around the same distance. Otherwise, if you don't do that, the speed of the video is gonna look weird. It's like gonna be suddenly fast and then slow again, which if that's what you want, you can do it as well. Also, there's actually 2 ways to do it. You can either do it with the tripod or you can do it handheld. If you do it with tripod, it's gonna be way more stable. But if it's hard for you to use a tripod to do it, you can still do it handheld. So in this case, I'm gonna do it handheld just to show you guys that it's possible to do it handheld. Okay, so we're finally done. Now we're gonna get back to the studio and get into editing. Okay, so we are back at the studio. Now we're gonna take a look at the photos that we just took, and hopefully we can make something good out of it. Now here we are in DaVinci Resolve. Now I'm just gonna select all of the photos that I took and just drag them into the media folder all at once. So if you do that, DaVinci Resolve is just gonna make the whole thing into a short video. With that, you can just drag it in and it's gonna be a video. Now this is very interesting. Let's first take a look at the raw video without any retouch or editing. Now we're gonna make it look way better than this, okay? Actually, these photos are taken in RAW, so technically I can make it look really good if I edit in RAW, but I'm not gonna do it. Okay, so I just did a quick color grade to make it look watchable. Now we're gonna do the magic. Secret sauce is basically warp stabilizing. You're just gonna stabilize the footage. You can use whatever you want. When I first started doing it, I used After Effects, but then I realized if you use the stabilizer in DaVinci Resolve, it still works really well. So basically you just go to this little thing and you hit stabilizer, perspective, and just stabilize. Okay, so the stabilization is done, and let's check the result. I didn't fix anything. Just check it out. Whoa, that looked actually pretty good, man. I think the first few shots were a bit off for some reason, but after that it's like smooth like butter. Look at that, right? It's really smooth, man. I did it without a tripod. It's still pretty smooth. Like that character of a hyperlapse is what is gonna make your video much more interesting, especially if you find a cool location. Let's say you're at the door, just like the guy from Watchtower of Turkey. He always shoot like these mosques, and you entering the mosque or like a gate or something, anything like that. You can use the technique of hyperlapse, and it's just gonna make the audience feel like much more things is going on. So yeah, that's about it with the tutorial. I hope you guys like it, and I hope you guys will use it. It's really gonna make your video look much better. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.